It's 1 minute after 11 o'clock. Welcome to today's edition of Voices. This is James. I'll be sitting in for Socrates, who is a little under the weather today. And once again, letting our listeners know who listen to us via radio, which most people probably do. If you happen to live in the vicinity of the Basti Valley, which is covered by Atlas Level. Well, there are some issues at that site, and we are working on getting that resolved. So you may have noticed that for the last few weeks, you would have been unable to receive WINNFM via your radio if you live in that area, any area covered by the Atlas Level Bastia Valley transmission site. For those of you wondering, Atlas Level happens to be that hill off to the northwest with the big antenna up top. Yeah, so there's some issues there at the moment which have not yet been resolved. So in the meantime, you can now people who live on the during the other, or rather within the other transmission, let's say call it window. That's the transmitter site at Spooners. So probably if you live in St. Peter's and so on, you might not be having issues. There are some people who will still get us in the Basti Valley depending on the quality of your radio and so on. But suffice it to know that you are always able to reach WinFM at WINNMediaSKN.com. That's our website. You can always listen there live. Now, as for the programs that we video stream, like this program, Voices, you can go to our Facebook page, Voices. Look for Voices WinFM, and there's also Twitch and of course YouTube. So just letting you know that if you're having trouble catching us, listening to us on the radio, you can also resort to using your internet. Okay, so we're gonna go get some words from our sponsor. I think when I come back, by special request, I had been asked yesterday to play the other half of Dwight Astafan's commentary during Island Tea. That was during Island Tea. So I think what I'll do, probably for the benefit of those who haven't heard the commentary, I'm probably gonna just play the whole thing, and then that would form the basis of part of the conversation, because obviously you can call on any topic you want, but because I was asked by a few to play the rest of the Dwight Astafan commentary, I'm just thinking it's best if I play the whole commentary. It's about 18 minutes actually, but hey, it's worth a listen. So when we come back, we're going to get a word from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to get into that and hope that provides the basis for a great discussion, the jump off point for debate today. So let's hear from Rams, Flo, and TDC.
Fruta full of vitamin, real fruit juice, full of vitamin. Pop open the goodness, just dive in. Fruta every night, fruta every morning.
It's the amazing taste and quality in fruit juice you've come to know and love. Anytime, anywhere, any occasion. Fruta is your tastier, better, healthier choice.
We got the vibes, fruta. Real nice, fruta.
And for the families, remember to pick up the 1 liter.
What has you so happy?
My home internet just got upgraded, and I didn't even have to pay for it.
What? Which network you have?
Flow! Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 100 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around.
Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
TDC Financial Services. We're here for you to help you make your dreams come true. Whether your needs are big or small, we'll support you with them all. TDC Financial Services. We are strong. TDC Financial Services. This is where you belong.
TDC Financial Services, where money is made easy.
are back. And as promised, I had played Dwyer asked the fans current commentary, the ones for this week. Earlier this week, I'd gotten through half of it, and I've been asked by a few people to play the entire piece. So I'm gonna it makes sense. They were saying I should play the second half, which I had promised, but I guess maybe for continuity and memory refreshment purposes, it probably would make more sense to just play the entire commentary. So that's what I will do now. So here we go. Okay, let me see if I can get this correct. Let me see. Okay, so here we go.
Greetings. It's now 2 years since the Drew administration got into office. A good time to review and look forward. There's no doubt that there are some commendable efforts and some amazing successes. For example, the Harris administration had used the COVID-19 situation as a weapon against the people of this country. Many people lost their work. Many people lost their minds, and people lost their lives. And he had the country on lockdown. Dr. Drew put an end to that. That was the very first thing he did. Then legislative and administrative improvements were made to the integrity in public life and the citizenship by investment situations. With regard to the integrity in public life, there is still work to be done, because the Integrity Commission still does not have sufficient money to engage persons to inspect the personal declarations. And we're not talking about a lot of money. And without that money, they cannot hire the people. And of course, declarations can pile up without having been inspected. And that is not a good thing. That defeats the entire purpose. The declarations must be presented on time, inspected in a timely manner, and whatever follow-up action, if necessary, taken. With regard to the CBI, I see no way to redeem this Galaxy jail thing, other than for the Prime Minister to give applicants who succeeded with citizenship, although they did not pay the legal minimum price, give them 3 months to pay the balance to the government, which could add up to over $500 million. That goes to the Treasury and the people of this land. And if the applicants fail to do that within 3 months, they lose their citizenship. This is not legally, administratively, or politically difficult. Indeed, it might be the only way for us to save our face and save the CBI industry. In addition, with regard to the same CBI, the movie company MSR, which we've all heard about, has indicated that it is going after the money in Hong Kong so that the people of this land might get something back from Galaxy for what has been done to the people of this country. It would be good if the Drew administration considered joining MSR in this effort. Follow the money and let justice prevail. Let the chips and the culprits, whoever they may be, take whatever they get. This matter places the responsibility on Dr. Drew and his colleagues to show whose interests they hold most precious, whether those of individuals who may have done or who did do damage to our nation. We have already time and again heard him speak about the development bank and all of the shenanigans, but nobody has been put in front of a court of law. We want justice, not talk. The people have been abused, and remedial action is necessary. This is part of the good governance agenda. Don't talk about the bad. Put the bad before the courts. Let justice prevail. Sadly, not enough of us the people, the voters, are standing up and letting our voices be heard on this and other matters. There's more good news. The Youth Investment Fund was established so that all of our nation's children under the age of 18 will be given a starter fund of $1,000 for investment and wealth building over the years of life. Unprecedented move in this country, and as far as I'm aware, unprecedented in the region. Meanwhile, more good news. Medical specialists and equipment have been brought in, and concrete efforts are underway to deliver to us a new state-of-the-art hospital and health system. We need, of course, the National Health Insurance Plan put in place with that, or even before if possible. The minimum wage was raised from $3.60 a week to $4.30, and I'm told that 5 months from now, that will increase again to $500 a week, the highest in the OECS. Government auxiliary employees have now finally been put on a pension plan, and we are told that employees of statutory corporations are to follow. Visible steps towards increasing the water supply have been taken and are being taken. And on these things with regard to the government auxiliary employees and the water situation, none of the former administrations took these measures. None of them. Social Security reform is underway. Again, another thing vital to the survival of our people and our nation. Decades overdue. Not just years, but decades overdue. All the previous administrations were good for, with regard to Social Security, was to milk it. Your sickness benefit money, your death benefit money, your maternity benefit money, your retirement money. Milk it, milk it, milk it, but not feed the cow. Not taking the steps with regard to contributions so as to keep the fund liquid and to increase the age of pension because life expectancy has increased, so that the fund would survive and our people and our nation can live good lives. No previous administration had the guts to take that on, or the will, or the desire. The Drew administration is doing it. Leading up to the elections of 2010, 2015, 2020, and 2022, those two previous administrations were giving away land as if it was on steroids. Many of the people who got, if not most of them, were not going to pay for the land in a timely manner, running up a massive debt of somewhere in the area of $12 to $15 million. The Drew administration has managed to reduce that debt and to improve mortgage payments, and has put a program in place that if you're getting a house from the NHC, your salary has to be deducted from the source. This is a terrible legacy left by the Douglas and Harris administrations. And incidentally, the first minister responsible for the NHC under the Douglas administration was Harris. People are making noise for roads and other infrastructure from the NHC and from sustainable development, and of course public works. But so many of them have not been paying for their lands and for their houses. But the Drew administration has established clearly a path towards improving this situation. A terrible legacy and burden left on its shoulders by the two former administrations, the three former administrations. To make the burden even heavier, in 2017, NHC borrowed $50 million, again from Social Security, your money. They said they were going to build 300 houses with it. This is part of the debt repayments that NHC has to do every month. $800,000 every month. Somebody please tell me how that $50 million has been spent. Yet despite all of these challenges and burdens left by previous administrations, the Drew administration has managed to build about 100 homes in its first 2 years. By way of comparison, the Harris administration built 0 new homes in its first 2 years. Then there's the case of the Development Bank, which under Harris's leadership ran up a debt of $135 million to who else but Social Security. They love to borrow your money, poor people's money, put Social Security liquidity under threat, put your future under threat to satisfy their political whims and fancies, and come to your elections and tell you how much they love you and care for you. And many of you, as I said, drank their Kool-Aid. So let me express this opinion. Neither the Douglas nor the Harris administration has shown the bravery and commitment to defend and protect your interest the way the Drew administration has. And the problems that they left to the Drew administration have been sinfully unfair, not only to the Drew administration, but to you, the people of the country.
Okay, so that's half. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll continue with Why I Asked the Fan. Now I think I got to about 55%. So I played a little more than half than I did on Island Tea early in the week. So we're gonna hear from our sponsors. It's 11:20, and we come back and we're gonna get the rest, and then we can discuss. And of course, you can also raise any other issues you might have on your mind.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
If you need insurance, our service is the best. Home motor insurance can give you more for less. Property insurance can save you a lot of stress. At TDC Insurance Company Limited, we care about your investment. Guarantee you peace of mind. The best team in the business. Guarantee you peace of mind. No other company will guarantee you peace of mind. Together we'll succeed and guarantee you peace of mind. TDC Insurance Company Limited, where you get more coverage for less.
What has you so happy?
My home internet just got upgraded, and I didn't even have to pay for it.
What? Which network you have?
Flow! Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 100 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around.
Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
And we are back, and as promised. And don't forget, you can also leave your comments along with your calls. You can also leave your comments at the Facebook page, the Twitch page, and the YouTube page. I'll try and read some comments as well. So we resume Dwyer's commentary. Here we go.
Else were responsible for CBI units being sold below the legal minimum, put our CBI industry and our economy on the brink of collapse. And we're still in a very precarious position. At best, the CBI is in its early stages of recovering, at best. But this administration still has a lot of tough decisions to make. How will the country run next year with such a shortfall on the CBI money? Highly reduced CBI action and revenues, no major projects, and on this point of no major projects, I have to ask, what is the Minister of International Investment doing other than traveling? Meanwhile, costs of food and other basic items need to be better managed. The social safety net basket is already massive and threatening to get bigger. Greater professionalism, industriousness, efficiency, and transparency are required in the public service at all levels. Corruption needs to be ended firmly, regardless of who it is and where he or she stands in the pecking order. The education system needs to be made more relevant. The country is too irresponsible and indisciplined. Not all of us, but too many of us. Never again must taxpayers' money be used for people to buy more guns, to terrorize the taxpayers, and to give the country a bad name. The security agencies need to be cleaned up, and combating antisocial behavior and crime requires a full court press by the Drew administration and all stakeholders, whether with regard to social interventions or criminal justice. And Dr. Drew and his colleagues have to show more courage and commitment to our people by addressing and solving the problems at Petition Hill and Christoph Harbour. These problems are solvable in the short to medium term, and solving them can phenomenally boost the economy. There are people of high and clean means waiting with willing hearts and open checkbooks. I don't know what the Drew administration is waiting for. We're talking about hundreds upon hundreds of direct jobs and business opportunities in these two projects alone. This is not just an opportunity. This is an historic responsibility that thus far the Drew administration has not discharged, and the country is waiting and suffering. Again, a problem inherited from previous administrations who created the problem and couldn't solve it. Now it is left for Dr. Drew to solve it. He needs the backbone, the courage, the will to solve it. Some people are going to be upset. Some people are going to lose out. But the long term has to be given priority to quick fixes. And while the administration is at it, it must acquire all of these abandoned CBI projects, put them on the market for management or sale. They're doing the country no good. In fact, they're bad and ugly. In these critical areas, the Drew administration has not, in my opinion, performed satisfactorily. They have also dropped the ball in some of the appointments they have made. And speaking of that, I would like them to tell us who their advisors are, who their envoys and diplomats are, what these people are costing us, what returns we are getting from them. Some of the people who go in the public square to speak on their behalf are doing them more damage than good. They also have to protect us from this free movement thing in CARICOM. We cannot continue to subsidize failed leadership in the other islands. While we need a larger population, the growth must be carefully managed. Inflows must be managed so that our national security and physical and social infrastructure are not stretched out of control and our people displaced and our country destabilized in the process. We cannot allow that. Meanwhile, the tourism plant needs to be upgraded. We need more tours, including the Sugar Museum, marijuana plantations, Hammond distilleries. Quality control can be put in place. We have a multi-purpose lab. These are intriguing things for visitors. Tourism should partner with agriculture so that the farmer would lift the food production sector, and not just for the tourist industry, but for us local consumers and for consumers in neighboring islands. We need to revive manufacturing and processing in areas of technology. The death of the Ponds industrial site is a sad thing, and successive administrations have not fought hard enough to keep it going. Thousands of jobs lost, and thousands of jobs which were held by highly skilled and highly efficient Kittitian and Division workers. It can't be just tourism. We need to attract research and development enterprises. And locals, both here and abroad, can get involved in this process. It is a major income earner. Information technology driven industries. We need to better appreciate the massive economic and social benefits that can be derived by our people from the sports industry. I'm not sure that the administration has a clear and deliberate vision for this. And we really need to establish this country as a global center for the entertainment industry. And these things are not just talk. They can be done, and they have to be done. In summary, the Drew administration has done some very good things. But in some areas, it has come up short. With respect, I don't think their advisors are doing a very good job. Unless maybe they are, but the Drew administration is not taking the good advice. Either way, the people are shortchanged. Something isn't quite right in that area. As Brother Eli X keeps saying, there are too many wrong faces in the wrong places. We are presently in a very dangerous and delicate situation, and it could get exponentially worse if, God forbid, we are hit by a hurricane or two this year. Government has to become tougher, more resolute and visionary if we are to survive. Far less excel. Thank you.
And that was Dwyer's most current commentary in its entirety, as requested. So it's 11:31. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the commercial break out of the way, and we come back and get into the discussion in earnest. Don't forget, you can send. You can also send comments, which I will read. You go to WINNmediascan.com if you want to listen online. If you want to listen via Facebook, you can do that. And you can also do that via YouTube and Twitch as well. And you can post your comments there, and I will try and read them as well. And I know some of you are afraid of the government and all that. You're afraid to speak your mind, or you're just afraid, you just don't really want your voice to be heard, but you want to weigh in. So you have a chance to. So let's go get these... get these commercials. That's funny. I just played back what I just said in my head. But that's the thing. Many of us are afraid to say what we really feel because we have thin-skinned electees to deal with and functionaries who get more upset about what is said, and you think they take that energy and use it to improve on their jobs, I guess. But anyway, I digress. Let's go get the commercials and come back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
What has you so happy?
My home internet just got upgraded. and I didn't even have to pay for it.
What? Which network you have?
Flow! Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 100 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around.
Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Shopping with TDC just got much easier. Here's how. Log on to shoptdcgroup.com. Shop at your convenience at any time, from anywhere with your smartphone, tablet, or computer. With our safe and secure payment checkout, you choose the option to pick up in-store or have your goods delivered right to your door. It's that easy. Shop tdcgroup.com, your one-stop online store.
Shop anywhere, shop anytime, same quality you love. Now online. Shop
www.shoptdcgroup.com.
Fruta, fruta full of vitamin thing. Real fruit juice, not full of vitamin. Pop open the goodness, just dive in. Fruta every night, fruta every morning.
It's the amazing taste and quality in fruit juice you've come to know and love. Anytime, anywhere, any occasion. Fruta is your tastier, better, healthier choice.
We got the vibes, fruta. Real, real nice, fruta.
And for the families, remember to pick up the 1 liter.
And we are back on the other side. It's 11:36, and we heard Dwyer Stefan's commentary in full. So now I want to hear, and I want to hear from you guys in full. So give us a call, 662-0989 and 466-0989. And let us hear what's let's hear what's on your minds. Okay, I don't know if... Okay, just give me a minute. Let me take a call here. Okay, so we take our first call. Caller, go right ahead.
Hi, Jamster.
Hey, what's up? I'm okay. How are you doing?
Good, good. So you see, I called in about the whole citizenship question. Was it yesterday?
Yes.
Now, I'm looking at an email from 2007 where I applied in January 2007 for citizenship for my son, citizenship of St. Kitts and Nevis. I have made the application on the advice of government officials at the St. Kitts Nevis Embassy in 2007. It's 17 years later, and the last email says it was on the minister's desk, waiting for the relevant minister to sign it. 17 years. Now, do you think that's fair? Notwithstanding the fact that I am not even supposed to be making such an application. I'm not supposed to be making such an application, but they made it that I cannot get a passport for him unless I make an application for citizenship at cost, when the Constitution says that he's already a citizen from birth. So now I'm doing my research and I look back and I saw that the application was made, fees were paid, everything was done. 17 years later, I still don't have that. I've been in touch with that embassy so many times over the years regarding that and different matters. So many times over the years, including up until May. It's not like they can't find me to send the certificate or the passport or whatever they needed, anything that needed to be done. This is what I'm dealing with my own government in St. Kitts and Nevis. Do you think this is fair?
I'd say no. Because
17 years. My son is 18 now. I'm still waiting for the Attorney General. It's 21 days since I wrote to him about my daughter's passport. This is the kind of treatment I'm getting from my own government. I get it from the British government, and I'm getting it from the St. Kitts government. I'm upset. I know you wanted to talk about the Dwyer thing, but
no,
this is on my mind.
anything. No, of course, that's fine. No, this is fine. Well, chances are someone is listening who, the AG himself.
What are they going to do? Reverse all that time? Are they they're listening? This is an email here from Mrs. Henry Martin when she was Deputy High Commissioner. And, it says, please be assured, as has been indicated to you in the past, that your inquiry about citizenship application made on behalf of your son have all been transmitted to the Ministry of National Security. On each occasion, you have been advised that your file is awaiting the appropriate signature so that it can be deemed finalized and your son's certificate forwarded to you. Hello? The High Commissioner... Just hang
on a bit, caller. Go ahead, Ewan. Go ahead.
The High Commission regrets that it is not in a position to do more than alert the ministry about your concern each time you inquire, since your matter is before the very minister that has purview over such matters. This is dated the 11th of December 2007.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
This is the situation.
Okay, so chances are, like I said, someone is definitely listening who possibly Garth himself, or even probably someone who can alert him.
Listening?
Yes.
Listening?
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been listening at all. They haven't been listening for how many years when these people had me locked up in Britain trying to remove me from the country. And I reached out to my government to ask what the position is, being born before independence, to make inquiries. And this is why I've been on this journey for so long and having to learn the nationality law. They told me that I should seek advice from the British government, the same government that had me locked up. Without trial, without charge, without conviction, a political prisoner. This is what you get from your own government.
Well, just, just stay strong, Ewan, and it would be nice. Yes, I know.
I'm strong, It's the fact that when you deal with the officials in St. Kitts, they just want to tell you how it should be. And when you present the law to them or what it actually should be, they go silent, they disappear, they don't say anything, you can't hear from them. This is what I'm dealing with. This is the situation. So the fact that I'm taking the advice the other day and I'm putting in this registration for my daughter, but I have a registration application 17 years ago for my son, and nothing.
Wow. Yes.
Nothing. The fees the email, the fees are paid, everything. So how much money they got from me from 17 years ago?
Yeah,
I digress. I'll leave it there for now.
Point taken.
I'll let the other caller
feel free to call back at any point, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Ewan, great.
Thank
Caller, go right ahead.
Good day, peace to you, and peace to our nation, and blessings. I just want to say, I heard what the gentleman said. I didn't get the full thing because I just came in, but
Well,
citizenship.
the crux of it is the gist is he lives in the UK and he's had a son. His son is 18 at the moment, and he's been trying to get citizenship for his son, knowing that he should not even have to be applying for the citizenship for his son, and it's 17 years later and still nothing.
Well, unfortunately, but according to our constitution, that person is a citizen, and because he's at least one of his parents from here, and if the gentleman's parents are from
both of his parents are from here.
It makes it even stronger. So the constitution should be followed. So I hope from today he will receive a call, maybe when next week, and say, okay, come on, collect your documents. Because the constitution is clear.
That's what I'm hoping.
Even with the British one, if he check the British citizenship, he will realize that persons, and this pertains to our nation, persons who were born before 1983, they were actually, what they want to say, dependents of the UK and so forth. Because the British passport we used to have, but they have this thing about right to remain. And I think the people from St. Nevis had the right to remain. And there are certain privileges and so on would have come with that. So it is for him to, and if all the information with the British thing is there, but when it comes to us, because this is us, it's an unfortunate thing, and he's not the only one in a situation like that, okay? I just want to put that out. So when I hear things like that, it kind of gets to me, because I know other persons, husband and wife from here, their parents from here, just that they were living overseas, the children born over there, and they had a problem getting something like that. There's some other countries, you don't even have to apply for citizenship. You just apply for passport. And sometimes, he's our citizen, because that person could be a fourth person, could be this, could be that, and could give representation to our country. Our country is missing out because of something like that. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from, Jan.
Absolutely.
The commentary that Mr. Astafan was talking about.
Yeah,
that's what I really call for.
Mm-hmm.
Under the People's Action Movement, what he's saying could happen, we will get it done. Because go back from 1980 to 95 before PAMLUS, we had a lot of those things. A lot of those, that is why we had a lot of basketball courts, sports were taken seriously, people interests were taken seriously, the income was there. I think you're old enough to remember some of those things. And that is why sometimes when persons talk about all political parties are the same, or all administration, they seem to forget, especially some of the younger persons, Labour was in power for 20 years. And in that 20 years, one electoral term, they had all 8 seats in St. Kitts. And therefore, they had the political capital to make certain changes if they believe certain things wanted to be changed. I don't know if you remember that time, Jamson, when they had all 8 seats in St. Kitts. You remember that time?
Yeah, I do.
Right. So you understand where I'm coming from. Yes. So we sometimes have to walk with that all political parties are the same, because there are a lot of persons who would have never, ever had an experience of the People's Action Movement in government to witness those good days. I want to believe you might have witnessed those good days. And therefore, everything that Mr. Astafan says he would like to see happen, the People's Action Movement will get it done. We have a good political leader, Natasha Shanib Grebuch, and she has a team. And we're just asking, just like how we did it during the 80s up to the 90s, we can do it again and even better, because these are different days. Remember the internet that we are relying on? All those came under the People's Action Movement. Matter of fact, there are some older persons, I don't know if you've ever heard it before, some persons who are older than you and I will tell you, if Papa Brasha was alive, XYZ would not have been here. That means we would not have been able maybe to communicate with internet, cable and so forth, and view these things, because they believe that these things shouldn't have been coming. I don't know if you catch where I'm coming from.
No, I see what you're saying.
Things came under the People's Action Movement. So the foundation was laid, and the government they came under, they built upon certain things. I'm not going to say they didn't do anything. They built on certain things. But much more could have been done.
I feel my issue with the political class is that they do not listen. They do not listen.
I am here to listen.
Well,
and
they don't listen because
leaders,
I've heard
they're here to listen.
they don't. I mean, they don't listen.
Tell you
If
what.
they listen, they don't care really.
Tell you what.
I mean,
when we reach in power, you're going to understand. Even before we reach him, we can be doing things so that you see we are listening. And if you listen to somebody's statement, and that's why I'm calling in now, because we are listening.
Having said
and like
that,
I understand what the gentleman is saying, because I know there are a number of persons who face the same situation.
Having
but
said,
the Constitution is clear.
Having said that, they don't listen. I don't want, like we've seen with the Labour Party over the last 2 years, I don't want them lurching from crisis to crisis in this knee-jerk reactive manner, just because some particularly loud critics say this or say that, and then they lurch into action and they do poorly thought out reactive things, which make them look like makes them look makes them look inept and like they don't know what they're doing. So this is so the listening needs to be tempered with some maturity,
Point taken, and that is what the People's Action Movement are pushing now. We have our new political leader, we have our new chairman, and these are the things, and new persons in the executive, including myself as one of the deputy political leaders, Azad as one of the new deputy political leaders. And now we have a number of other persons who are new. And the party, I don't know, even if you want to go back before 1980 when Pam came into power, Labour was there before. A lot of people don't know they were there for maybe like 27 years before, And look at the thing. Look at how the country was. So the People's Action Movement brought progress. A lot of people didn't want that because, we shouldn't get table because of this and because of that, and like I said before. And maybe you could find some persons who are older than you and I, and you might hear some of them saying, Papa Bracha would not allow this to happen, would not allow that. But the People's Action Movement had a vision for the development of our people, for the development of our country. And we are here today. Yes, government is continuous, and therefore, I'm not saying the Labour administration didn't do nothing on team unity, but they did build on certain things, but much more could have been done. And the People's Action Movement is the right path to pick up where they left off and build more on the things that you would like to see. The People's Action Movement could get it done. The concern that this gentleman is having now about citizenship and so on, we can get it done. Under the good leadership of our political leader and the team that we have, we can do it. And it might sound far-fetched, but I do not know when it's going to happen, not even you. But I'm calling for whenever the election is called. I'm calling for persons. You want the change. Some of you who never heard of witness Pam in power, just look around and you will see certain things. The foundation, as you say, a good house must have a strong foundation. And Pam brought that foundation. And that is why today we are still benefiting things like Port Zante, the Southeast Peninsula, even the airport, if you want to put it like that. Even some of the schools, the education system, okay? A lot of these things, a lot of reforms we would have put in place. But as time go by,
I feel
we would
like
expect certain things would have come in.
I feel like
you
I've
would have
seen
mentioned that certain things more could have been done.
I've seen it happen with
opportunity.
I've seen this happen with Obama and now Mr. Biden. Mr. Biden has done many seminal things in the last 3 years. Mr. Obama did a lot of great things over the eight years, but they both did and are doing better at doing those things and actually letting people know that they did those things. And I think that might be something you guys need to take a look at. There are a lot of things, yes. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of achievements that Pam can well be proud of, but How many
Yes,
people?
and like I said,
How many people that this is something y'all need to fix.
and like I said, the
There are a lot of things that the Labour
that's what
Party
they're
are
doing.
claiming that you guys were should justly get the credit for. So that you guys need to take a look at that as well.
Right, and then yes, and also you know, like you in the media, so you could maybe invite or show our political leader. Wouldn't have any problem to come and give some of this information. Anybody from the party, we have our chairman, and you have persons who are still alive, like our national hero and other persons who are in his administration and so forth. Those are even fair thinking persons from Saints and Nevis who could say yes, yes, yes. Just put politics aside and said yes, yes, yes. Because you know what? Our present government is my government, your government, because it's the government of Saints and Nevis. Not because my party wants to get in government and we see each other as foes, but it's not personal. It's just because of the way we want our country to develop and the way we want our people to advance, the way we want our people to recognize, think it's needed, has a dream. I'm not sure about everybody, but I know think it's needed, has a dream, and therefore our people, any single person who born here thinks they need has a dream to become the next governor general, the next prime minister, the next pastor, the next billionaire. Oh yes, thinks they need has a dream. Because you know Jamster, other persons come here and make a fortune. Why can't our people, the masses of our people, benefit from so? Do you know one time, especially
Because
in
we
the
keep
80s,
because we keep electing terrible people. That's all. That's the main
I'm
thing.
putting up myself for you and the others to see. Give
We
the
keep
people that
electing
movement
people.
this other chance.
We keep
We had
electing
20
people
something
who.
years out and we've missed out on a lot. Look at our situation right now. The cruise season, this is one of the worst I ever seen. Last month, how many cruise ships we had in 1 month? Do you remember that?
But to be fair, this is the off season, so.
Yes, I know that, sir. But you know
So-
what? There's some other countries having 5 and
I know, but
and so
but this is the
so
thing.
What I'm saying,
This is
what
the
are
thing.
they doing that we are not?
This is the off season.
question.
Well,
Yeah, that's the question, because there's some other countries, they're off season as well, right in the Caribbean, and they're getting more ships than us. So
yes,
what
fighting
are we,
fighting
what are they
to
doing?
trying to get the off season to look not much different to the high season.
Okay, what I wanted to do for my
They've
friend,
they've
go
they've
research in some of the islands, and you come back and announce it, because I don't want to come back because I don't want to be let it be political. You do it and come back and let the nation know. Compare things to some other country in the slow season as you call it. What are the
No, I'm with you, but what I'm saying is I've heard Marsha talk about, and the minister before, I think that would have been Lindsay, right? About a push to try and increase tourist arrivals during the off season. I would like to really hear more about that, and I thought that they had a great head of the tourism authority, which would they let go. It would have been nice. It would have been nice to have given him some more runway because
this is my country. This is our country.
You know,
I am trying to get into government, and I would have hoped that this season, what we are experiencing, would have been better. Even if we had 10 ships for the month, I would have feel better, because even if it's 1, 2 per week or whatever it is, at least. Because you know what? When it's this slow, employment we're looking at slow down. And even the other big manufacturers, somebody mentioned about the pond industrial side. You know, we have to figure out why we only have, I think, one up here now, you know? Why? You know? But I know for sure, when it comes to business and get people working and get companies just flourish, because you know what? When the companies are flourishing, that means we have good things happening in the country. And the People's Action Movement, from experience and from good record, can get that done. Our people need to get back to work. And you see this crime situation again, I know my political leader would have touched it. But this crime situation as well, it has a link. These were planned in the past. I'm not going to touch it now, because that could be a big subject by itself. And going for shortly, our political leader again going to touch this matter again. But all this boils down to seeds that were planted. And it also boils down to economics. But I just want to tell our people, violence is not the answer for our problem. Let us go back to where we had it. Our Constitution mentioned right inside there, our country is based upon the principles and the belief in God. I know some persons may not want to hear it, but believe it or not, we would have tried so many things. And those of us know when we were younger, and we were going to school, we had to go to church. But if you look, go back again. Back then, we had a situation where murders were very, 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 very minimal. I'm sure things you should know. Maybe you could ask your parents. From when we started to have all these violence and murders, and the periods when we had very few, if any, during a couple of years. We can get back there, but you know what is missing from all that period? The belief in Jesus Christ. Going to church. Church do not tell people to go out and do violence. It tells them otherwise. Also, sporting activities.
But what about the cultural and economic factors that cause that? Social, cultural, and economic factors.
Is all of that I'm coming to, to let you see what would have changed. Remember, back in the day, some people didn't understand something. There's a difference between child forced labor and parents giving their children permission to work and they're getting paid for it.
Okay, look, we're going to have to...
That is another thing. I don't know if you remember when children, during the summer, during weekends, they used to go to do some work. You remember that? High school children?
Yeah,
remember that?
yeah. I used to have my part-time jobs.
See that happening. And that's what kept us then.
Okay, Mr. David, I have to leave it here because we have news. You can always call back after the break.
Yes, thank you very much for giving me the time to just express
no problem.
To let people see what we would have left out and we could take again. Thank you very much.
Okay, great, no problem. Okay, it's time for the headline news. It's 12 o'clock, 12 noon.
You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With the WINNFM Midday News, I am Kevon Brown. Our top stories: Constantine Conce Edwards' body found in Sadler's Mountain. ECCB issues 40th anniversary commemorative stamps. Minister Duggins celebrates success of Creative Arts Fund and addresses upcoming Creative Power Arts Convention. Dominica's Prime Minister questions commitment to free movement in the region. Jamaica's Teachers Association expressed concern over recent announcement of government's plan to seek teachers overseas. Internationally, Israel agrees to send a delegation to fresh talks on Gaza ceasefire. Now the details. Over a week since being reported as missing, the police have confirmed that the body of Constantine Conce Edwards, former Calypsonian known as Lord Black, was found in a gut in Sadler's Mountain. Edwards was reported missing from a senior's home in Sadler's, last seen on August 1st, 2024 around 6 p.m. And since then, people have been trying to locate the 76-year-old. Police mounted a search with the help of community members to locate Edwards during the week since he was reported missing. Besides being a Calypsonian, Edwards was a radio personality who hosted the Ziz National Showcase program, which promoted talent, local culture, and heritage. His program on WINNFM focused on vintage calypso music from around the region. WIN extends condolences to the family and friends of the late Constantine Conce Edwards. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB, has announced the issuance of its 40th anniversary commemorative stamps. These stamps are now circulating in the 6 independent ECCB member countries: Antigua and Barbuda, the Commonwealth of Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Each country has received 2 sheets of these commemorative stamps, and a quantity of first-day covers will also be available for philatelic collectors. ECCB Deputy Governor Dr. Valda Henry led the stamp competition, which formed part of the bank's 40th anniversary celebrations. Dr. Henry expressed elation at the expression of collective action and innovation. She noted that the stamps reflect the talents and creativity of the people of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, ECCU. Dr. Henry encourages the public to purchase, use, and collect this special stamp issue. The 40th anniversary stamp competition winners were announced during the ECCB's year-long celebration launch in January 2023. Verdant Shetty of St. Vincent and the Grenadines won the 5 to 11 category with his stamp titled Go Green. Mia Emanuel of St. Lucia won the 12 to 17 category with Sustainable Economic Growth and Development. Maxan Rock of St. Vincent and the Grenadines secured the top spot in the 18 and over category with a stamp depicting the July 5th, 1983 signing of the ECCB agreement. Dr. Henry congratulated the winners and expressed gratitude to the Postmasters General of the participating countries for their collaboration with the ECCB. The value of the ECCB 40th anniversary commemorative stamps will be determined based on the best-selling stamps in each of the participating ECCB member countries. In a related event, the ECCB, in collaboration with the government of Grenada, issued a limited supply of $50 circulation banknote to commemorate Grenada's 50th anniversary of independence. The banknote is the same size as the current $50 banknote series, printed on polymer, and is a legal tender for everyday transactions. A special Grenada $50 note pack is available for purchase as a keepsake. While the $50 banknote will be issued exclusively in Grenada, it can be used in any member country in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. The commemorative banknote will be available to the public through commercial banks and credit unions in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique starting August 8th, 2024. During the St. Kitts and Nevis National House of Assembly sitting on August 2nd, 2024, Minister of the Creative Economy, the Honorable Samuel Duggins, discussed the progress of the Creative Arts Fund and announced the upcoming Creative Power Arts Convention. Minister Duggins stated that the Creative Arts Fund has assisted well over 50 creatives in advancing their creative endeavors since its launch earlier this year. He highlighted his commitment to revitalizing and strengthening the creative sector, expressing anticipation for these initiatives' continued success and expansion in 2025. The minister also provided details about the upcoming Creative Power Arts Convention, stating that the event will bring together talents from various industries across the Caribbean to the islands. 28 facilitators will provide training across various fields, including dance, event promotion, touring, modeling, and fashion design. The convention is scheduled at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort from August 31st to September 7th, 2024. The announcement of the convention generated interest within the creative community as many look forward to the convention's promises of networking, learning, and collaboration opportunities. The Creative Arts Fund was established to provide financial assistance to support individuals and organizations in the creative sector. Since its launch, it has helped artists, musicians, photographers, videographers, and event organizers advance their projects and improve their skills. The Creative Power Arts Convention brings together creative professionals from various fields and seeks to elevate the standards of creative practices in the Caribbean, focusing on training, development, and collaboration, and providing a platform for showcasing talent and innovation. In regional news, Dominica's Prime Minister questions commitment to free movement in the region. Jamaica's Teachers Association expressed concern over recent announcement of government's plan to seek teachers overseas. Carib Update has those stories and more.
Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Scarrett is questioning the commitment of regional countries to the free movement of goods and services across the region. Scarrett told the opening ceremony of the three-day inaugural Organization of Eastern Caribbean Youth in Agricultural Symposium, which began in Dominica on Wednesday, that while he is happy that young people are attending the symposium on agriculture, they cannot speak about OECS agriculture and food exports and imports. Neither can they speak about the 25 by 2025 CARICOM initiative if today there is still barriers towards importation of food from sister OECS and CARICOM countries.
Why is it that we can send our produce from Dominica to European countries and to North America, and within CARICOM they wouldn't accept certain crops from Dominica or some OECS countries? It doesn't make sense to me. Are you telling me that these people overseas on other parts of the world are lesser human beings than us, or we're more susceptible to certain things that they're not? What is it?
Scarrett said there must be the political will within CARICOM and the OECS if the Caribbean is to truly achieve its sustainability efforts and food security.
If we're serious about it, it is just a matter of us going to our respective cabinets and passing SROs and removing those barriers. It's simple as this. We cannot go and tell the World Bank and tell the IMF to change the structure, and we are unwilling to change our structure within the OECS and CARICOM.
The St. Lucia-based OECS Commission said that the symposium follows key decisions made at the 7th OECS Council of Ministers Agriculture meeting, as member states continue to execute the Food and Agriculture Systems Transformation Strategy. Forensic authorities in the Dominican Republic worked Wednesday to identify the remains of at least 14 mostly decomposed bodies found on an abandoned vessel 10 nautical miles off its northern coast. The Dominican Republic Navy said the 14 skeletons appeared to belong to individuals from Senegal and Mauritania, according to the documentation found next to the bodies. Authorities are also working to determine the cause and time of the deaths and whether 12 packages of a substance found on the boat contained illicit drugs, presumably cocaine or heroin. Cell phones and geolocation devices were also found on the boat, the Navy said. The Atlantic route from West Africa to the European Union territory is one of the most dangerous in the world. Boats that miss their destination can be swept away by the Atlantic trade winds and currents from east to west, drifting for months. Migrants aboard often die of dehydration and malnutrition. Others have also been known to jump into the ocean out of desperation. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres spoke on Thursday and expressed readiness to support a Venezuela-led process towards the re-establishment of democratic norms, the U.S. Department said. In a statement, it said the two expressed concerns for the safety and well-being of opposition leaders, following a July 28 election that both challenger Edmundo Gonzalez and President Nicolas Maduro say they won. The two also condemned the political violence and repression, indiscriminate arrest, and violation of due process. Federal investigators say they found the DNA of a decorated former U.S. Green Beret on some of the 60 automatic weapons he allegedly smuggled from Florida to South America as part of a failed 2020 coup attempt against the Venezuelan president Nicolas Maduro. The allegations were detailed in court papers filed days after Jordan Goudreau's arrest last week and contained the strongest evidence yet linking him to illegal arms trafficking that facilitated the amphibious raid, which ended with several fighters killed and two of Goudreau's former U.S. Special Forces colleagues locked away for years in Venezuela. The plot, exposed by the Associated Press 2 days before the incursion, were carried out by a ragtag group of Venezuelan army deserters, whom Goudreau allegedly helped arm and train in neighboring Colombia. Goudreau later claimed responsibility for the attempt, but said he was acting in concert with the Venezuelan opposition to protect democracy. He also said he was in touch with then-President Donald Trump's administration, which made no secret of its desire to see Maduro gone, even though there is evidence U.S. officials blessed the invasion. Health Minister Kim Wilson is now Bermuda's Attorney General. Wilson was sworn in on Wednesday by acting Governor Tom Oppenheim at Government House. She replaces former Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Kathy Lightbourne-Simmons, who resigned last week, along with Minister of the Cabinet Office Vance Campbell. Wilson will now be referred to as the Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs and Health. The Jamaica Teachers Association JTA is expressing concern and disappointment over the recent announcement of plans to recruit teachers from overseas as a measure to address the current shortage in Jamaica. According to the Education Ministry, teachers will be recruited from countries such as Nigeria, Ghana, the Philippines, and India. JTA President Leighton Johnson says the decision, while aimed at addressing an immediate crisis, highlights a significant issue that requires urgent attention and collaborative action. Johnson says the intensification of the migration of teachers from Jamaica is a clear indication of deeper systemic issues that needs to be addressed. He says there is an urgent need to improve the salaries, conditions, and incentives for educators here at home. The JTA head says it is imperative that focus be placed on creating an environment where teachers feel valued, supported, and adequately compensated for their contributions to society. The Jamaica government says it will engage international development partners for climate financing. The government is seeking to access resources to build resilience and implement activities aimed at mitigation and adaptation to climate change. This is in response to Jamaica's high vulnerability to natural disasters stemming from climate change, especially along the coastline. The recently published Economic and Social Survey 2023 said between 2014 and 2023, Jamaica received approximately $171.4 million in overseas development agency resources directed towards the environment and climate change sector. The social survey published by the Planning Institute of Jamaica says a share of 77% of resources was in the form of grants.
We now bring you these international reports.
Israel has agreed to send a delegation to a new round of negotiations on a ceasefire and hostage release deal with Hamas. The United States, Egypt and Qatar issued a joint call for talks to resume next week in either Cairo or Doha. Hamas has yet to respond. With fears of a wider regional escalation following the killing of the Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Iran, international diplomats have been stressing the urgent need for a ceasefire to end the Gaza war. In a statement, President Biden, the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and the Emir of Qatar say there is no further time to waste or any excuse for further delay, adding it's time to release the hostages, begin the ceasefire and implement this agreement. We've heard from the Israeli Defense Minister saying it's important, quote, to reach a Gaza hostage release deal swiftly. So some reaction there from the Israeli Defense Minister on that story. Earlier, I asked our Middle East correspondent Yulan Nell how it would work.
Well, that's subject to a lot of speculation. Certainly Ismail Haniyeh, who was assassinated in Tehran last week when he was visiting there, was seen as somebody who was more moderate and pragmatic. He had been overseeing the Hamas negotiations, but it has been pointed out by Hamas officials that Khalil al-Hayya, the senior Hamas official who was really leading the negotiating team in these indirect talks with Israel through mediators, that he remains in place, he remains responsible for this file, and that previously Yahya Sinwar, now the hardline leader of Hamas overall, that he had apparently agreed to all of the former positions that Hamas had signed up to, including, of course, that temporary truce we saw leading to the release of dozens of Israeli hostages late last year. And it had seemed that anyway, Yahya Sinwar was really calling the shots. He is presumed to be in an underground bunker in Gaza, having been seen to have masterminded the 7th of October deadly attacks on Israel.
And as we mentioned, there's been pressure internationally to get to a ceasefire. How much appetite is there within Israel to go down that route?
Well, Israel was very quick to say that it was going to send its negotiators back to these talks. Certainly, there's a lot of domestic pressure. The hostages' families, one of the main groups, came out quickly to support this statement, sending quite a strong message, really, from these three leaders in the region, and US President Joe Biden as well, who have all been supporting the mediation effort. And it had been suggested back in late July, prior to this sort of series of events that led to an escalation in this region, this dangerous juncture that it finds itself at the moment. It had been said by the Americans in particular that they were getting close to having a deal agreed. And this statement, suggests that a bridging proposal to overcome different outstanding issues between the two parties, that can be agreed. A senior US administration official was briefing journalists that there were compromises needed by both sides at the negotiating table.
The war in Ukraine, where 4 days of surprise border incursions have seen Ukraine strike a military airfield and make territorial gains within Russia. We're hearing of that Russian attack on a Ukrainian supermarket. Pictures have been shared on social media and have been verified by our team. Ukraine's Interior Minister says at least 10 people have been killed in the missile attack in the Donetsk region. And we're also seeing an updated figure on the number of injured. That's 45 people injured. He says a post office was also hit. President Zelensky shared pictures of what he said was the scene of the attack. He says people are trapped in the rubble. And as Ukraine's offensive within Russia continues, Russia says it's moving troops and munitions to the border region. Ukraine's latest assault was a drone attack on an airbase about 300 kilometers inside Russia. Pictures released by the Russian Defense Ministry show the target being hit by Ukrainian forces. Sources in Ukraine's security services told the BBC several dozen fighter jets and helicopters at the base were also hit, as well as munitions warehouses. And 4 Russian villages near the air base have been evacuated, while Ukraine is planning to evacuate 20,000 of its citizens who live close to its Russian ground offensive. Our correspondent in Kyiv, James Waterhouse, sent this update on the supermarket attack.
It's quite the day already. I mean, let's start with Konstantinivka, where we're seeing some pretty troubling images of a supermarket on fire. Now, what we're being told is that it's been directly hit by a Russian missile. Now, this is a city which is a sort of along a string of settlements in the eastern Donetsk region where Russian forces are continuing to push. And this is a kind of place where people get used to daily airstrikes and the residual threat of approaching invading troops. It's a very difficult existence for people there already. It reminds me of when a DIY store was targeted in the northeastern city of Kharkiv back in May, when the Russians launched a cross-border incursion around there. We're talking about civilians going about their day-to-day, really. And so, yeah, the images are Certainly, it doesn't look good for Konstantinivka. But sadly, this is part and parcel of daily life in the east of Ukraine.
Meanwhile, our Russia editor Steve Rosenberg has been looking at how the Ukrainian incursion is being viewed there.
Well, I was reading the Russian papers today, and they were really interesting. I mean, keep in mind that, you know, most of the Russian papers that are still printed and published in this country are controlled by the state. But what comes through when you read these dailies today is this sort of begrudging recognition by Moscow that Ukraine's cross-border attack has been pretty successful so far. So, for example, there's this paper. This is Moskovsky Komsomolets, popular tabloid, and it quotes, first of all, from the relatively new Russian defense minister, who said that it's okay making mistakes, but you mustn't lie. And the paper says we have to recognise that this cross-border assault was a strong move by the Zelensky regime, which has caused unpleasant consequences for Russia. This is another very pro-Kremlin Russian paper, Izvestia. And it says that the enemy, in other words, the Ukrainian army, is acting skillfully and daringly according to all the rules of the art of war. It said it's been using drones as air cover for its tactical groups, and then it brought in reserves and battalion tactical groups which have attacked in various parts of Kursk region. And that's quite interesting. I think that reflects the realisation here in Moscow that it's very difficult to put a positive spin on what's been happening in southern Russia over the last 4 days.
Let's speak now to Matthew Saville, who is Director of Military Sciences at the defence think tank RUSI and a former civil servant in the Ministry of Defence. Matthew, thank you very much for your time today. We're absorbing the news and getting updates about this attack on the supermarket in the east of Ukraine near Donetsk. But I want to ask you, first of all, how significant is this attack by Ukraine on the Russian airbase?
The attack on the airbase might actually complement the ground operations that have started this week in and around Kursk, but it's probably also part of the ongoing Ukrainian drone campaign against targets deeper into Russia. And that's split out over sort of Russian infrastructure, ammunition and logistics points. But the airbase targets are twofold. The very long-range ones where the large Russian bombers are launching from, which launch, the cruise missiles and things that hit particularly Ukrainian civilian targets and their infrastructure. And then in places like Lipetsk, that's where the jets that are using particularly the glide bombs are being flown from, and they're attacking Ukrainian forces, particularly around the north and Kharkiv. And so they've got targets in Lipetsk, Kursk and Voronezh that they've been going after for some time.
So what's Ukraine's strategy, or indeed strategies here? Is it about drawing Russian troops away from other parts of the front line? Is it about saying to the US and other allies, keep on backing us?
Well, I think that the strikes on the air bases are about trying to kind of push back those the Russian aircraft that have been posing some of the greatest threats to Ukraine forces. And some of these are the targets that they would like to be hitting with things like the ATACMS ground-based ballistic missile provided by the Americans, although some are at the extreme end of that, which is why they're using drones. The Kursk incursion could be about adding to that pressure on Russian forces that tried to threaten Kharkiv, although that attack stalled a few weeks back. There is also a political element to this, which is that it could be about signalling to the West that they're still in this fight, reversing the narrative of the past 6 months where a lot of that has been about Russian pressure, and frankly, embarrassing the Russians and really striking a blow to their prestige. But, we still don't really know what the full scale and duration of this ground incursion is going to look like.
So based on that comment, what do you think Russia's response will look like? We're already getting reports of the movements of some Russian troops to the region where Ukraine has launched this ground incursion.
I mean, they do seem to have been caught on the hop, and that suggests that the Ukrainians have improved some of their operational security problems, which bedeviled them last year, because the Russians have pretty good advance warning of a lot of their activity. The Russians also initially claimed that they had already repulsed this attack, and that has demonstrably not been the case. You would expect them to use the reserves that they've got to rush them to the front. That seems to be taking some time, and maybe we need to take another look at exactly how flexible Russian forces are. They don't yet seem to have been pulling forces away from further south around the Donbass, and that attack still seems to be grinding its way forward. So there's probably a bit of observing exactly how much the Russians have actually got in reserve and how good their deeper defences are. I think if we look back to the Wagner insurrection a while back, actually it turned out they weren't anywhere near as coordinated behind their front lines as you expected them to be.
Chinese airlines are gaining market share on international flights, according to industry data. That's as foreign rivals give up on serving the country, deterred by weak demand and rising costs, as well as extended flight times due to the need to avoid Russian airspace. Western carriers like British Airways and Qantas are pulling services from China or opting not to restart flights. British Airways said Thursday it would halt flights from London to Beijing for a year, citing commercial reasons. Last month, it suspended one of its twice-daily London to Hong Kong flights for the same period. And Qantas cited half-empty planes and low demand for China travel when it suspended Sydney to Shanghai flights in July. Since the outbreak of war in Ukraine in 2022, Chinese carriers have continued to take shorter northern routes to Europe and North America over Russia's vast airspace. In contrast, airlines in Europe, the US and other countries have avoided flying over the country. That's either because they've been banned from the area by Moscow or their own governments, or have chosen not to overfly out of safety concerns. That's expanded the cost advantage held by Chinese airlines and allowed them to take a larger share in the international market. One analyst told Reuters the country's carriers enjoy cost savings of 30% compared with Western rivals. All that left China with nearly a quarter less flights abroad in July compared with the same month before the pandemic. But local carriers like China Eastern are operating 90% of their international flights, indicating it's overseas airlines that have retreated.
From a crash followed by a bounce to why the TV business ain't what it used to be. This is the week in numbers. About 13% was the plunge in Japan's Nikkei stock index on Monday, among the worst falls in a day of global market turmoil. The slide was triggered by worries over a US recession, but by week's end, the losses had been largely recovered as new numbers eased fears over a downturn. Wells Fargo strategist Scott Wren was among those to argue the economic fears were always overblown.
What you're going to see in coming weeks is data, whether it's earnings, whether it's economic data that says, yes, the economy is slowing, the labor market's weakening, but they're not weakening or slowing substantially.
Over $9 billion was the charge at Warner Bros. Discovery as it wrote down the value of its TV assets. Later, Paramount Global cut the value of its assets by $6 billion. Both are suffering as traditional cable TV business declines. Up to 14% was the jump in shares for Eli Lilly after it reported bumper sales of weight loss drug Zepbound. That could be a sign the US firm is closing the gap on Danish rival Novo Nordisk, which reported a rare earnings miss. $4.8 billion was the value put on Indian scooter maker Ola in its first day of trade. Investors are optimistic it's well placed to lead as the world's largest market for two-wheelers goes electric. And $6 million is how much money Qantas is cutting off the exit pay for former boss Alan Joyce. That's after a damning report blamed him for alienating customers, staff and shareholders.
You were listening to the Midday News on WINNFM 98.9. The headlines:
Constantine Cons Edwards' body found in Sadler's Mountain. ECCB issues 40th anniversary commemorative stamps. Minister Duggins celebrates success of Creative Arts Fund and addresses upcoming Creative Power Arts Convention. Dominica's Prime Minister questions commitment to free movement in the region. Jamaica's Teachers Association expressed concern over recent announcement of government's plan to seek teachers overseas. Internationally, Israel agrees to send a delegation to fresh talks on Gaza ceasefire.
Thank you for listening.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoy the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
You found the sound. 98.9 WIN FM.
And I'm back for the second half of Voices. It's 12:36, and Voices second half is sponsored by Hosford's. So we're going to get a word from Hosford's and we'll continue.
Hey shoppers, get ready for the most exciting sale of the year. It's Hosford's Furniture and Appliances extra major white sales event. Extra savings, extra happiness, major deals on major appliances. Enjoy a major 25% off on every major white appliance in store. 25% off on fridges, stoves, small appliances, washing machines, and so much more. And that's not all. Get double cash back on higher purchase of major appliances. Just imagine the savings on your dream kitchen and laundry essentials. Visit Hosford's Furniture and Appliances today and take advantage of these major deals on major white appliances. Upgrade your home with top quality appliances and enjoy massive savings. Hurry in. These deals won't last long. The extra major white sales event at Hosford's is happening now. Major deals, major discounts, extra savings, extra happiness. Only at Hosford's Furniture and Appliances. Visit us today and experience the Hosford's Furniture and Appliances difference. Sale ends soon. Don't miss out. Hosford's Furniture and Appliances. Your home, your style, your savings. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Has emerged for Carnival 2002-2003. Man, the ground war begin. Trouble. Me? Yes, been around for 30 years plus. There were years I recall I got my ass bust. Mistakes, blunders, suffered from a lack of foresight. But like the man, I knew I always wanted to be. I bounced back, and for years I had been running on track. But 96, they brought a son of a bitch called Festival Music to distract the carnival. Music Festival taught me one lousy lesson: to support foreign rather than sweet local music. So tell the carnival committee, I love how you're killing me. Pass on the word to the business community. I love how they're killing me. The me in my song is the me in Mr. Carnival, Mr. Cultural, the original. I had to use irony, sarcastic. And in the absence of any prognosis, let me sing this song very bitterly. I love how you're killing me. Carnival City is quite good enough for we, the local artists.
12:40. So by now, everyone would have heard the news that the great Conce Edwards, also moonlighted as a Calypsonian, as well as a legendary broadcaster at ZIZ, where he got his start. And he was the host of a seminal radio program over the years. In addition to his general on-air shifts during the day, he was the host of National Showcase for many years. And Conce Edwards was, he has been, suffering, some issues over the last few years, and had been moved to a nursing home in Sadler's. And apparently he tended to go for walks daily, and his last walk ended up being his most recent walk ended up being his last walk. He was found dead The fireman told me about this morning. I actually didn't know at the time. I knew he had been missing. I hadn't realized that he had been found and that he was dead. So, to the family members of Conce Edwards and all the people who knew him, please accept my condolences. The staff of ZIZ. Of course, his brothers, the Calypso fraternity, the broadcasting fraternity. He will be missed. Lord Black. I may as well go straight to the phones. Caller, go right ahead.
Good afternoon.
Hey, what's up?
All right, greetings to you.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have heard about consent is a very sad thing. I would like to send my condolences and sympathies to his family and friends as well. Now, what I would also like to say as well, you played the clip concerning Dwyer Estefan.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, because I think I played a clip of him in the past, and like I said before, it is very interesting that a lot of our people, when they're in office, they're very different to when they're out of office. And when they're in office, well, when they're now out of office, when they've come out of office, they present themselves as knowing the answers. But when they was in office, they were not doing the things that they are now recommended that they are now out of office. And I find that happens a lot in St. Kitts. Now, with all due respect, well, one of the things he did in his comment, he spoke negatively about the Douglas administration that he was a part of for I think at least 2 terms, something like that. And when he was there, he was for some time. He had the Ministry of National Security. He was over that. He was the Minister of National Security. And not only that, but he used to be praising the government of leader, and he used to be praising Douglas as a very great leader, a wonderful leader, and the government doing what it should do, and the government is a very good and great government, and that's all. So he had high praises for his government that he was a part of in his day. So it is very interesting now that he's commenting on how that government he was part of was basically had basically dropped the ball in doing a lot of stuff that he was supposed to do. So I see some serious contradiction, and when we hear people talking these things, especially people like Dwyer Estefan, so we should ask ourselves, but you was there and you were praising the government at the time as the one of the best, if not the best government, in the region and that sort of stuff. And for St. Kitts and that sort of stuff. So, there's a lot of questions to be asked. And like I said, I find when people come out of office, they have a lot of recommendations as to how things ought to go. But when they were there, the recommendations that they're now making, they never used to do them, and they never used to fight for them. So it's very, very interesting. But I would also like to say, concerning Pam and Labour, Miss Henry once said, there is no difference when it comes to policies between Labour and Pam. Both of them policies are socialist. Miss Henry said that on radio one time. So and she's correct, very correct. There's no really difference between Labour and Pam. And I would drop in Unity, I would drop in PLP as well, and CCM and NRP. I would drop them all in that same branch, even though she was basically just speaking about Labour and Pam. There's no difference really among them all when it comes to policies, because all them policies, number one, they all reject the Bible. With all due respect, they all reject the Bible. They have no respect for the Bible, except lip talk, just talking. And all of them believe that government is the solution to our problems. You have a problem, Just put government on it. Government throw some money at it and do whatever they have to do to fix it. And that is it. That's how you fix problem. All of them believe that the government is the solution for everything, an answer for everything. Because when you ask them, well, how this problem is going to be fixed, or how this problem is going to be dealt with, and especially when it is a one election time, none of them does say, well, I think the private sector could best deal with that. No, none of them says that. All of them, they always say, well, with the government, we're going to do this to fix it, we're going to trust some money to fix it, we're going to do that to fix it. Every problem is the government, is only who could fix the problem. You know, so there really is no difference in essence where they are concerned parties. Some may spend more money on projects than others, but in the essence of policies, they're all basically the same. Okay, Trevor. And by the way, greetings in Jesus' name, the only Savior of his sinners from their sins and family. Greetings in Jesus' name. God bless you.
Okay.
Take care, Trevor.
All right. Okay, so it's 12:48. This would be a good time to take a break. So let's take a break and come back and take your calls.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Here are your Horseless Value Mart IGA special. Running August 8th to August 21st. Now our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Essential Everyday Toilet Tissue, soft and strong, $29.99. Essential Everyday Sliced Cheeses, $8.99. Imperial Margarine Spread, $17.99. Sunny Delight Smooth and Tangy, $6.99. Briar's Ice Cream for the summer, $22.99. Bumblebee Chunk Like Tuna, Water and Oil, $4.49. And now our very low weekly
Value Deals! IGA Essential Everyday Mac and Cheese, $2.99. Hunt Spaghetti Sauce, $6.99. IGA Essential Everyday Salad Dressing, $10.99. IGA Essential Everyday Cornflakes, $9.99. Extra Liquid Detergent, $12.99. Ama Deodorant, $8.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
And we are back. It's 12:49, and of course, I'm here to take your calls. Numbers are 662-0989 and 466-0989. Once again, I really have to really sad the passing of Consulate Black Buffalo Soldier Edwards. I think he was an institution unto himself as far as his relentless promotion and championing of the domestic music scene here, and his love of calypso and soca and all its in all its glory, and even messiness at times. I'll always remember him for that. His passion and joy for the music, for calypso, the calypso tent, the calypsonian, the culture. So it's very sad to see him go out like this. I don't even consider Cons old. I mean, I didn't really see an age, but I don't think I saw an age reported or saw or heard an age reported. But You kind of thought that Cons would be doing what he was doing for years. But then, he's had challenges over the last 2 or 3 years, and then now here we are. Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Jamster. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. What's up?
I just tuned back in on the radio. I listened on and off earlier morning. I knew of the mission of Christ, but the confirmation of his passing, it's really tragic, because besides the name that you call him, he was the man who would have gone into the wee hours of the morning on the desert radio,
Yeah.
playing me up the tunes that we accustomed to and so not much accustomed to. He was like the man who held the night watch, so to speak, on radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. I and irrespective, because it's still yet early as to what the investigation would have been as to his mission, if there was any foul play, if there was as a result of his getting up in age and, being plagued by, some of the diseases that come with old age, like Alzheimer's and the likes. It's yet early for anyone to just speculate and conclude what would have contributed to his sad passing, because there's so much speculation that might come into the fray.
Mm-hmm.
But when we, and sometimes there's a fear of we not wanting to get old. There's a reality that if we live out our good youth life and we enjoy life, we will want to continue to enjoy life, irrespective of the Chiefs scores and 10 or more. And so no one will really want to just give up on life like that. But in terms of caring for the elderly at an older age, there's room to be desired. There's room for improvement. Because it's all good that an older person will want to stretch their legs, such as what remain in their legs, take a nice walk, and, going within the bounds of the facility that you might be a part of as an institution,
But I was told that this is something he did every day. So it was something that
which was good for his health. It's healthy to take a walk. But then, like other things, other speculations. I'm not going into that speculative arena. I digress. I listened earlier to the gentleman who spoke about the 17 years and more waiting for an application which he applied for his son, in which he did not have to do, and until this very day, And on top of, I did not hear much of Mrs. Wyers as a fan. I heard a piece, maybe the second sentence of it was somewhat of a kind of like discouraging clarity to me in terms of, he looked back at the former administration, which, if you can do a comparative analysis with the former administration to this administration, and I also listened to the ILNT program yesterday, and Mr. Maham attempted to say, well, the intent that these guys wanted to do this and to do that. How can one give a marking, a rating to, let's say, like a manifesto? of any political party that would have gotten into administration and has not fulfilled. And then in the calendar of events of any administration, one will want to say, well, after the first 90 days, after the first year, after the second year, we will want to give an analysis as to the stewardship, so to speak, as to what would have been accomplished according to the manifesto that they presented on the rostrum throughout the campaign and so forth and so forth. And you digress. You did not give a rating. But if I were to rate them, I was going to rate this administration, this Joe-run administration. One could use the term the Joe-led administration. I'm going to use the term the Joe-run administration. Why am I going to say the Joe-run administration? Because at a pivotal time like this, when our society, in terms of the uptick in would-be behavior, it may not be as a zenith, but it's on an upward trajectory. And if I were to critique whether the Prime Minister would take a vacation, a leave in which everybody is entitled to, as a leader should go the extra mile. And a more, calmer time in the society, a more time when it's not so volatile in terms of our apprehension after the double homicide and a child was involved. I would have probably made a statement to say, well, it is a custom for me to take a vacation at a certain time, but due to the fact that this is what is happening, and me as a leader, I'm going to hold on and stay and put my vacation on hold until, some calm comes within the nation for me to do so. So I said the Joe-run administration because he took run, in my view. He did not take leave. And so those are some of the things that I would want to really bring to the fore to say, if we were to do a comparative analysis of the former administration and this administration, there's more to be desired. There's more can be done. In two critical areas. The economy, are there more monies in our pocket? Along with the inflation as a part of the economy, and security. The citizens of the nation feel a little bit more secure at this time, or are they feeling a little bit more insecure in the comparative analysis from then and now? So those are a few of the things that I wish to bring to the fore, and this is just my thing. Another time for the political spheres beyond our borders in the U.S. We will have another discussion on those things. But right now, we have to dance a yard before we dance abroad. So I would not give them beyond, if I were to rate them, I would not give them beyond a 4. They deserve rating, but not beyond a 4 for me.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Okay, sure. Okay, so it's 1 o'clock. 1 minute after 1 o'clock. Let's take a quick break here from Hosford and come back and continue voices. I want to hear from you, so everyone please give me a call. 6620989 4660989.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart. Mart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
And we're back on the other side. As Voices continues, we've got 28 minutes left, so let's make the most of it and let's hook up. Call me 466-0989 662-0989 and make the most of what's left of Voices. Weigh in, opine, comment, question, critique. It's your call. Let's go. Pun intended. So we're back here. The Olympics. Well, we're in day 9 of the day 9 of athletics, but everything comes down. The curtains come down, I think, on Sunday. Because tomorrow is the last of Sunday, because there's some other finals happening on Sunday, and then I guess they'll have Sunday will be the marathon, I guess, because tomorrow is the final day. The marathon would be the marathon would be on Sunday, and then I think the closing ceremony follows that. So The Olympics has been in Paris has been marked by some controversy, COVID. A bunch of people have contracted COVID on the way to trying to get a medal, or even COVID tripping up their intent to compete. There's been, certain conspiracies being tossed around about, about the way some of these infections happen and so on. Jamaica hasn't been doing as well as they normally do due to certain situations. Basically all three of the big three, Elaine Thompson-Herah, Shericka Jackson, and Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, they're all out with injury. The last two were actually in Paris and expected to run, but had to pull out due to injury. And there's some conspiracy theories surrounding the photo finish of the 100-meter dash featuring Noah Lyles and the newly ascendant, Kishane Thompson from Jamaica. And personally, I'm sorry, maybe I should say this, but personally, it always seems, with this Olympics especially, it always seems to me when there's a photo finish, they always seem to give it to the big country person. That's the way it looks to me. And listen, I know these things are run by computers and so on, but it always seems funny to me that when someone ends up with the same time, they always give it to the American or the European or whoever it is, that because it's usually a case where it's between, say, someone from Jamaica or someone from the Caribbean, and the American or the European gets the nod. So I don't know. I remember there was a heat I saw where you had identical times for a French athlete, and I think it was someone from another country, and they gave the French athlete. So the French athlete got to go to the final. Anyways, let's go back to the phone line. Caller, go right ahead.
Yeah, Trevor, it's me again.
Yeah.
concerning the Olympics, well, I'm not following it up anywhere near as how you are following it up, okay? But I was glad to see the girl from Jamaica, in Clayton. I think it's Tia Clayton.
Tia, yeah.
Yeah, I was really glad and impressed to see her on the 100 meters. I won't tell no lie, because I've followed her up a little, and how she has been, doing real good on the tracks, and I was glad to see that she was there. To me, what was very disappointing to me is the girl from Bahamas.
You mean Shawnee Miller?
Yeah, she was. I expected her to.
Yeah, well, she was clearly It was originally announced that she wasn't going to go, but I was surprised when she showed up. I mean, she should have just stayed home, because I don't even know what that was.
Okay, well, like I said, I'm not as informed as you, but I didn't know that she was not supposed to. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was announced by the Bohemian Press back in July, that she wasn't, and then so I don't know what changed.
Oh, okay. Because I know she does give some very impressive performances in them big competition. I was she any in place.
She didn't even make it to the final. She didn't finish the race. I mean,
Yeah.
She ran 53 something. I mean, this is shocking for somebody like her.
Mm-hmm.
No, not 50. I'm sure no, more than that.
Shocking. It was shocking.
55 something. I mean,
It was very shocking.
Sometime not even women are running now.
Yeah, and I'd love to see the fellow who beat Noah. It was on the 200. The African guy, Tibigo or something like that.
Let's say Tobago. Yeah, he's from Botswana.
Yeah, I was very glad with that. I was very impressed that at least an African won it. They see the first time an African won that, right? Male, speaking about, at the Olympics level?
No. Frankie Fredericks from Namibia won that already.
Oh, so it was first for his country then?
Not first medal, but first 200-meter medal for his country.
Yes.
Yeah.
First goal for his country to win at the Olympics level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very glad for that. I was really, really, really glad
We
for that.
kind of had a suspicion, like I'm part of a track and field chat group, and a few months we've been, to be honest, I don't know if most of us didn't expect him to beat Noah, but we had a sneaky feeling that he had something up his sleeve, because he would finish there was a race in London where I think it was 100 though. Yeah, there was a race in London where he raced Noah, and there was 2 races where he raced Noah, and he had this sly smile at the end of the race. And people, and I was even telling some of them, "Oh, come on, you guys, that's the way he always smiles like that." But some of them were saying, Tobago knows something, that I don't like this, and it turns out
he beat him healthily.
And he beat him exactly, exactly.
Well, you know what I was really impressed with again? What I was really impressed with the girl with the female 100 where she was put in she place.
Yeah. I knew Thing was gonna win that. I knew Julian was gonna win that.
I was really impressed.
Yeah, and she only didn't win the 200 because she was tired. I mean, the person who won was fresh.
Gabby.
Yeah, Gabby was fresh.
Gabby
so,
Thomas.
Yeah, she only did the 200, so she would have been fresh compared to Julian.
Julian, yeah. Juju as the caller is back in her home.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I was glad for St. Lucia when she won the 100-meter dash. But one of the things I might do, I don't go on YouTube and search for the videos where they're in their homeland celebrating. You just look at those videos, sir?
Yeah,
you see them jumping up. I love to see those videos.
I think I was watching either NBC. I think it was NBC, and they had clips of the watch party in Castres, Yeah, so I saw that. Yeah, that's always pretty interesting. And
yeah, I love to see those because I don't go on YouTube and search for those videos of the countries, especially Caribbean countries, celebrating their wins. Yeah. Anyway, Trevor, take care.
all right.
Albert.
Okay, Greg. Okay, so Voices continues. Come on, regale me with your calls. Give me a call, 466-0989 and 662-0989. Bring it on. It's 12 minutes after 1 o'clock. Okay, so let me just sneak in an ad here until we can get some calls. We have 18 minutes left.
Attention, savvy shoppers. It's that time of year again to upgrade your home and feed your family with Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. For over 25 years, we've been making dreams come true by offering cashback coupons for free groceries on all higher purchases. That's right, we've given away over $1 million worth of groceries to our loyal customers. And this year, it's your time to cash in on the savings. Whether you're in the market for a new sofa, a sleek kitchen upgrade, or a cozy bedroom set, Hortford's and Ashley Furniture Home Store have everything you need to turn your house into a home. And when you make a higher purchase with us, you'll receive cashback coupons redeemable for free groceries. So why wait? Visit Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Upgrade your home, feed your family, and save big with cashback coupons for free groceries. Only at Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
And I'm back on the other side. As Voices continues, I await your calls. Now, let's take a look at. May as well take a look at some of the regional stories that might interest you. I don't know what you guys are doing at this time. Seems like everyone is preoccupied doing something else, and have no interest in calling in on Voices. At least that's what I'm going with. So maybe I'm wrong. So let's see. Just taking a look at Loop News here. It says 14 decomposed bodies discovered on a boat near the Dominican Republic. And let's see, moving right on. Carriacou Sachel Alves named Grenada's Carnival Queen. Okay, so that's good because Grenada is having carnival around this time. And in Antigua, body discovered on a fishing boat. And arrest made in 1997 death of Eva Glee Ebanks in the Cayman Islands, and I should have talked about that. 3 Caribbean women into Olympic 100 hurdles finals. Wait a minute. Only 3? Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot. Okay, I think I know what happened. For some reason, I thought I'd forgotten that I think they had the heats for that this morning. Okay, that's interesting. I completely forgot about that. Okay, interesting. So today is day 9. Now, how did I miss that? Okay, so I await your calls. So everyone, we have about 14 minutes left on Voices. So you guys wanna give me a call? Go right ahead. Feel free. Okay. So, okay, so that story was talking about the three women. So, I had forgotten that the 100-meter hurdles was going to be held today. So now we know. Okay. Okay. So it seems as though everyone is preoccupied doing something else. I was hoping that you guys would be sending me your calls. I don't know if you're having trouble. Okay, here we go with the phone lines. Hello, voices, go right ahead. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Okay, let's squeeze in a commercial and come right back.
Hey there, summer lovers. Ready to make your summer unforgettable?
Oh, yeah.
Get down to Horsford's building in Neva Center, something summer special, where the heat is on with a sizzling 25% off select items. Fire up the fun with top-notch barbecue grills, perfect for those backyard cookouts. Dive into savings on swimming goggles, coolers, and inflatable and mini pools. Keep your drinks icy and your days splashy. Relax in style with our comfy summer chairs or float away on our luxurious floating waterbeds. And don't miss out on our premium gas grills for the ultimate grilling experience. All this and so much more. Head to Horsford's building in Neva Center, Something Summer Specials today, and catch these hot deals before they're gone. Something Summer Specials, your one-stop shop for summer fun. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
And we go back to the phone lines. Caller, go right ahead.
Yeah, Jam, so what's up?
I'm okay. What's up?
I'm good too, man. I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to get in yesterday when you all were talking about we had a swimmer went to the Olympics, right?
We did? Oh, yeah. I think. I'm not even sure. I think I heard there was at least one swimmer. Yeah.
And the position is well high, but that is expected because to enter those international games, bro, you got to look at the people, those professionals in those bigger countries who got the facilities. Those people out there, they train for hours. It's not like we in these small, poor countries. When you're done work, you only got about an hour and a half or 2 hours to do your training. So therefore, you got to, once you're going to train here, you got to train extra hard to go compete out there. Now, take for instance, if you're going to train to swim, let's say the 100-meter butterfly or whatsoever it is. In the Olympics, all you have on is your bathing trunk and your diving goggles. So when you're going to train here, what you should do, train in resistible clothes that would hold you back in the water. It's just like a boat. When a boat has mass on the bottom, it slows down the boat a lot. So if you train, let's say you want to train to swim in a long pants and a short, but you got to train extra hard because those clothes going to hold you back So when you take off those clothes and when you go in the freshwater pool with one little piece of bathing trunk on, then you're going to move plenty faster than when you were training, and you would be able to beat some of those guys out there because, you know, you train with extra weight. And to train to swim in seawater, it helps you a lot because the seawater is live and it pushes you. But in freshwater, it is dead, and you have to use more muscles, more strength in your muscles to move in the freshwater fast. Like when I used to race, my racing weight was 165, and then my bike would have been around 13 to 14 pounds. But I would have a piece of lead strap on under my saddle, and that lead would weigh 10 pounds. I would train with that. And when I'm going against the wind, there is where I will try to go as fast as I can against the wind. So when the racing they come now, and I take off that piece of lead from under my thing, and then when we on the track, whether the wind blowing towards my chest or on my back, then I know how I train. But a lot of people just feel, well then, oh, I could coach this and coach that, but there's a lot of things in coaching an athlete. A lot of things you got to do to that athlete. So that's my little input.
Okay. All right. I hope you have a great weekend.
Yeah, man. You too. Anyway, by the way, while I'm on the air here,
Mm-hmm.
I said it already this morning on ZZ. You know, my sympathy goes out to all the family of the late Conz Edwards. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it's sad to see how he passed. We are going to pass, but it's sad to see the way he passed. And I hope others would be more cautious and take warning and don't let what happened to Conz happen to anybody else that they are responsible for. So,
yeah.
All the best to you, John.
Okay, great. Yes, for real. All the condolences to Mallet, and I think the brother's name is Melvin, the other one. Yeah. So, I wait your calls. We have it's 124. Yeah, 124. So if you guys have any calls, we got like 5 minutes. I could just probably end the program early, seeing that we don't seem to be getting any calls like that. So maybe I'll just end the program early. But let me squeeze in another word from our sponsor and then come back.
Hey shoppers, get ready for the most exciting sale of the year. It's Hosper's Furniture and Appliances extra major white sales event. Extra savings, extra happiness, major deals on major appliances. Enjoy a major 25% off on every major white appliance in store. 25% off on fridges, stoves, small appliances, washing machines, and so much more. And that's not all. Get double cash back on higher purchase of major appliances. Just imagine the savings on your dream kitchen and laundry essentials. Visit Hotspur's Furniture and Appliances today and take advantage of these major deals on major white appliances. Upgrade your home with top quality appliances and enjoy massive savings. Hurry in. These deals won't last long. The extra major white sales event at Hosford is happening now. Major deals, major discounts, extra savings, extra happiness. Only at Hosford's Furniture and Appliances. Visit us today and experience the Hosford's Furniture and Appliances difference. Sale ends soon. Don't miss out. Hosford's Furniture and Appliances. Your home, your style, your savings. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Call or go right ahead. Hello?
John?
Hey.
Yes, me again. There's somebody calling in. I decided, since we're going to close it off quickly, let me say this. concerning the same track and field event, concerning Jojo, the girl from St. Lucia, who won. It's uncomfortably she won while fixing she shot on her. And she won healthily and won, like I said, while fixing her shirt just before she crossed the line. But what was very interesting is that Sha'Carri and the other one was not there at the conference.
Yeah, that's how they behave.
With the girl.
Yeah. Yeah, terrible, right? That's terrible, right? On sportsmanlike, yeah.
Yeah, it seemed to me, Sha'Carri especially, it seemed to me she doesn't take losing in a sportsman way.
Yeah, when she loses, she doesn't talk to the press.
Not only that, but you see, mother, she ain't all that, like, quick to hug and them. So I'm not saying that she never do it, but you see, mother, the other time when she come, like, she ain't do it at all. And the other time, it look like even when she do it, she maybe ain't too appreciative. You know, but I know what it doesn't seem as though she don't lose like a sportswoman. She must win, and then she love the hugs. And so when she win, but you know, you have a bad attitude when she lose.
Absolutely. Big time.
So, yeah. Secondly, I would like to say that one of the reasons why cost of living is so high on that sort of stuff is because of the lot of high spending and so government does, and you have to find back the money to pay for its high spending, and that is one of the reasons among many others that carry up the cost of living and why it is so high today. And all the governments are to blame for that, all of them, not just one. But I have to give this present government the end tip of the blame because they could do a lot to cushion the high cost of living. It ain't just all outside factors. It's also domestic factors as well that they have control over and that they could do things about to help cushion the high cost of living and make life a lot easier for us all. Okay, Jamson. God bless. Thank you.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for today's edition of Voices. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We have should be starting about now. I'm going to miss it, so I'm going to have to wait for tonight to see that. The women's 4x100 meter final. It should be starting. The schedule said 1:30, so it might even be finished. Okay, so everyone have a great weekend. I will be back with you guys on Monday for Island Tea, etc.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
Have you heard the exciting news from Makana Ferry Service?